Good afternoon. Members of Boys Home of Virginia Board of Trustees, distinguished contributors, and donors from the community to the Boys Home mission, alumni, staff, and current young men in the Boys Home program. My name is David Harrison. First, I'd like to say that I'm the proud alumnus of Boys Home's class of 1991. What an absolute privilege and honor it is for me to be invited to speak here today, as we recognize these incredible young men's accomplishments and celebrate this 2020 class. Like so many, I would rather be there in person, but current circumstances have us all adapting to a situation that is unprecedented in our lifetime. These times, however, illustrate something that Boys Home has prepared us for, and that is life. We learn, we adapt where necessary, we bounce back, and we continue to push forward. For many of the young men here, I want you to know that I get it. The date of the class of 1991 makes you think that I'm just an old school Boys Home boy who is here to tell you that I've done well, have a house, raised my kids, have a great job, and I owe it all to Boys Home, blah, 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 right? Well, some of that is true, but there is so much more to why and how I achieved those things and the bumpy roads and obstacles that I faced along my journey. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. I came to Boys Home February 7th, 1987. Besides my own date of birth and the births of my daughters, this was probably the most important day in my life. Many, if not all, the young men in the program today will be saying the same thing someday. Although our ages are different, I believe that what connects us is that we share like circumstances. I came to Boys Home from a home situation that was going to lead me to a life of imprisonment or maybe an early death, but definitely not success. It was a life of abuse, neglect, extreme poverty, no structure or plan for a life past that particular day. I was the least abused in my family, if there is such a thing, but I clearly was the most angry. I brought that anger with me to Boys Home. I had a mouth that was bigger than the rest of my body, which when I arrived at Boys Home was 4'10" and 85 pounds. It didn't take long for me to find out that there was a pecking order here. Young men have a way of sorting that kind of thing out. I remember my first day here like it was yesterday. House parent and dining hall supervisor Warren Birch asked me on the first night, "What's your favorite part of being here so far?" I stated without hesitation, "Eating, sir." Later that year during the summer when we had activities going on, swimming pool, camps, going to the beach, playing baseball, I was asked that same question again, and my response grew to not having to worry about if we were going to eat that day, having plenty of clothes to wear, and having someone to care about me 24 hours a day. The rest of those things, they were icing on the cake. To the staff, past and present, who are present and not present today, I say thank you. Thank you for caring for me and for my many brothers. Your time and effort have never and should never go unnoticed by the young men who grow up in this program. I think you absolutely deserve all the praise that you receive. And if we were here together in person today, I would ask for a round of applause for everything that you do. When I accepted the opportunity to speak today, I knew that it was not going to be long before I received what I call the call. It's that call from Mr. Wheatley. It was sure to come, and I'd better be prepared because if I wasn't, he was going to ask me why I wasn't. To this day, I still have the utmost respect for a man that I will never be able to refer to as Donnie, even at 47 years old. 35 plus years of helping young men like me realize our potential because he was a young man like me. He was from the era few have lived as we. He, along with many others, realized that going forward that the message of Boys Home of Virginia needed to resonate not only with the Boys Home community, but the community at large. A successful man has to start somewhere. This may be something that seems like common knowledge to many, but for young men that walk through these doors, I believe that it provides a sense of hope. That spark or catalyst that says there's a chance. There's a chance that I can do better, be better, and have better, not only for myself, but for my family and for my community. Outside of spirituality and faith in God, the formula for hope is pretty simple. And I believe that Boys Home targets these areas and places an emphasis on them so that young men entering these doors can see and feel hope. At some point in life, you will ask yourself, how do I find hope or become hopeful again? Positive peer support, creating options, will make one hopeful. If you don't believe me, imagine being without a job and just applying for one. Don't tell anyone that you applied for that job. And if you don't get the job, still tell no one. As you imagine, this could be pretty easy to see how someone could become depressed or hopeless based on this scenario. Now imagine applying for 10 jobs and telling the people who are most supportive of you, sense that encouragement as 3 jobs don't come through, but you still have a chance at the other 7. Hear and feel the support as others say, you can do it. No worries, you still have 7 more. They would be lucky to have you. I know someone who will hire you. That's how you grow hope. Here at Boys Home, that support, encouragement, and creation of opportunities is evident. Do you see now why teams in sports statistically play better at home than they do on the road? Positive support does wonders. So you're here. Now there's a chance, right? For those that are graduating, you have experienced this. So what are you going to do with this hope? One of the greatest lessons that I learned from my Mama Clark and Boys Home was personal responsibility. It is all about you. Growing up, my brother and I used to get into fights. My brother Mike and I used to get into fights, and I'd run to my Mama Clark when she was caring for us that particular day, and I'd come in, I'd point my finger at Mike, and I'd say, Mike did this to me. And my Grandma Clark would say, David, how many fingers are pointing back at you? And I'd look, and I'd see 3. She said, you have a part in this. You know, what can you do about your role in this situation? That's what personal responsibility is all about. It's about thinking about not being able to control the other person, but what is my role in this? What can I do about me in this? I refer to this as the light bulb moment. It's when the light bulb goes on. I taught my kids the importance of this. People hurt us. Bad things are going to happen to us. And if we're fortunate to live long enough, more will. Bills will come, jobs will end, or let us go. We will fail sometimes. And something like the coronavirus may come along and will shut our country down. But what will we do then? We can't control those other things, but we can control our role in them and how we respond to those circumstances. First, we have to get up. Nothing good happens by laying in that bed all day feeling bad for oneself. Nothing will improve there. Things improve when you get up and get back at it. When you feel like things are too bad for you, or you feel too bad to get up because life is not going your way, that is exactly the time that you do need to get up and get moving. My first day in Jack Gordon Cottage was such an important day. My brother Mike was placed in Sam's Cottage, and I told my house parent, Joni Birch, that day, this just wasn't fair. I wanted to be with my brother. She said, David, life isn't fair. That's just the breaks. I heard her use those words often. That's just the breaks. I've used those words with my own children. Entitlement will keep you stuck. No one owes you anything, but you do owe yourself. Personal responsibility will get you moving again. It's a beautiful thing because it's empowering. You get the credit when things go right, and when things go wrong, you get the opportunity to improve them. This, I assure you, will make you want to do more and achieve more. It's infectious. You have to educate yourself. There has to be an educational component in your life. Whether you are going to college, trade school, or entering the work world, you must continue to grow your mind. Not only will it provide you with knowledge and options, but it will also make you much more effective and an assertive communicator when you need to self-advocate. Have you ever had to listen to someone who has absolutely no clue about what they're talking about? Often they will become aggressive because they are frustrated. They are not being heard or understood. They lose their message due to their presentation. Know what you're saying and say what you know, but be respectful so others don't stop listening. In the end, it's about communicating your wants, needs, concerns, and or ideas to accomplish your mission, whatever that may be. For the young men leaving Boys Home of Virginia for the summer or graduating today, know that here at Boys Home, you have a built-in support system. But when you leave, you need to continue to build upon that. Use your hobbies, interests, education, work experiences, and passions to expand that support system with people who care about you. Find people who have your best interest at heart. There are a lot of people out there using the word bro and fam these days. I'm sorry, but if you haven't lived at Boys Home, been to my house, know where I work, or ask about my kids, we are neither of those things. My bros and fam care about how I live, and they want the best for me. The folks who know me best know my failures. Some watched and whispered, some supported and encouraged. Know who is by your side, and know who is on your side. Spend more time with the people who actually care about the real things in your life. They care that you make it to work. They care that how your kids are doing in school, in activities, and how you're generally doing each day. They celebrate your successes with you. Marianne Williamson's poem, Our Deepest Fear, reads, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. We all are meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I can't count the times I've told my girls they don't have to dim their own lights to make someone else's shine brighter. You're allowed to be proud of your accomplishments while being humble and considerate. Pursue your dreams with everything in you. You can't control the natural talents that were given to you, but you can control your effort. Last but definitely not least, I want to talk to you a little bit about character and leadership, something that we often talk about at Boys Home, and during your time here, you will hear those words mentioned over and over again: leading, good character. During these trying times, we see and hear both of these being called into question daily. First, I'd like to say, know who you are. Medea has a saying where she says in a movie, she says, "It ain't what people call you, it's what you answer to." We have bad days. Don't be afraid to ask for help occasionally. That's a strength, not a weakness. Look people in the eye when you speak to them. Don't hang your head because you only miss out on the opportunities that are in front of you when you do. As I told my daughters, Abby and Jaden, in sports, don't hang your head on a bad play because that next play is coming to you. Be ready for it. Be ready to succeed the next time. Take care of yourself. That does not make you selfish when you make sure that you're okay first, so that then you're able to help others. You are no good to others if you are no good to yourself. That's where true leadership begins. You are setting the example. That's not to say that you have to be perfect for others to respect you or to follow you. Sometimes how you bounce back from difficulties and how you stay true to your core values during success and failure is setting the example for others who experience like circumstances. Leadership is often reflected in your attitude, so be careful in the image that you're putting out there. Think about this. We're not together, but if we were, I would ask you to raise, for everyone here, raise your hand if you have ever experienced failure. Every hand should be raised. We have all failed at something in life, whether it was an academic test, something at work, an athletic event, and even some days as parents. I know that I have. But life and success isn't about how many times you fail or fall. It's about getting back up and pushing forward. That's when true character is revealed. Cliche, I know, but so true. As I wrap this up, I want to say thank you again to Boys Home of Virginia. Thank you for letting a poor boy from Buena Vista, Virginia, make that right-hand turn onto Boys Home Road on February 7, 1987. There's not a single time that I make that turn that I don't get goosebumps and an anxious feeling in my stomach knowing that I'm home. Thank you to the donors and contributors to Boys Home of Virginia. You make stories like mine possible. Thank you to the staff and all who assist daily in supporting and facilitating the mission of Boys Home of Virginia and encouraging young men past and present to become successful men. To the young men of Boys Home of Virginia, I encourage you to be intentional and purposeful with each day that you live here. For the graduates, reflect on your time here often. The stories you carry are important, not only for yourselves, but for the success and betterment of others. Be proud of your story. It belongs to you. Your success in getting here today, it is yours. Boys Home was the guide, but you had to make the choices along the way that led to your success. As you go forward in life, I encourage you to continue to do the things daily that brought about that success. Congratulations and best wishes for a healthy, happy, and productive future. Thank you.